You're a woman driven. You're always a driven woman. Did you think that here, in this realm, of those dissatisfied with the knowledge of a single universe, you wouldn't run into yourself sooner or later? This has all been built for us, for each other, with signs only we will see. I knew you'd find a way in. There's so much for you to learn, little sister. I leave you with one final truth. The garden of this serpent's place. In the divinity of fear and order who can walk in the cool evening air are only visitors. Do not follow. Do not fail to see the evil hiding in the light, nor the aromatic beauty of the palest flower of darkness. For those wondering what that was quotes from the Black Queen's own personal ledgers, which, holy shit, they get pretty dark. But before we get into that, I actually have something interesting to tell you. It's not a sponsorship, and I know that right there is what it looks like, but it's not. It's me telling you that we actually have some new t-shirts. We have 4682 and also 999 Likes Fire, which is basically a corned version of 682, and 999 with Vulcan, the big huggy boy. So yeah, that's an interesting little combination, ain't it? Also, don't forget, we also have Oi! Nice Rock. And if you use discount code ROCK for the rest of this November, you actually can get yourself free shipping. So hey, why not? Also, I am going to make some more t-shirts in the next couple of months, so that way we have some Christmas stuff. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. So with that being said, let's move on to the video. For those wondering what that was basically the Black Queen in a couple quotes from her wiki page. The Black Queen is a supporting character in the Foundation series and is an interdimensional group comprised of almost every version of Allison Chow, who happens to be the daughter of Charles Gear, or Dr. Gears. After he was abducted by the Foundation, she swore revenge on the Foundation and basically found her way to the Wonders Library and is now known as the head honcho of the Serpent's Hand herself. The nature of the Black Queen is more or less just the average Joe that's been thrown into such a relationship with the Foundation that she wishes to more or less destroy the Foundation and make it so that way anomalies are free to wander the Earth and make us either stronger or destroy us. The Black Queen was one of the first and only people to actually be able to reach the Wanderer's Library. Again, she is the daughter of a Foundation employee, Dr. Gears. After discovering a way to basically contact alternate versions of herself in the multiverse, she found a way into the Black Library. It's not certainly told if she was actually told how to get there or she just found it herself. But there was a simple truth to this because either way, somehow she found her way there. She does have a personality range of cheerful, optimistic, pacifistic, but is also clumsily cold, pragmatic, and very distant. She is one of the few people on the Foundation boards that often are told that she can't or will not be basically given any type of preferential treatment. There is an actual kill order by the GOC and the UIU for her, because the simple truth is she has done some very questionable things. For instance, when the GOC tried to enter into the Wanderer's Library multiple times, she's often sent the corpses back of those GOC agents and officers who tried to enter. She often hates the GOC due to the fact that they have the destructive nature. And when I mean that she just flat out hates the GOC, I mean she fucking despises them. To the point where, like I said, she does send their people back, but sometimes she sends parts instead, which, I mean, it's the fucking GOC, I understand. Trust me, I can't stand those assholes more than anything, but that's besides the point. And often sees the Foundation as misguided or misleading, due to the fact that they don't really destroy entities unless they are world-ending. However, there are simple truths to this. She doesn't hate the Foundation, she just wishes that she was actually able to see her father one more time. Even her alternate selves just wish to see their father, even if it's only for a little bit, nor only for a little while. Some Foundation in other dimensions have actually given the Black Queen more or less the run of a certain site, so that way she can actually talk to her father. However, the father figure that she thinks is it was originally not even her father. Yeah, the Dr. Gears of that universe never married, never had children. But there are certain things that you'd be interested in. However, there is the Vanguard timeline where she is from, where we actually know her from. This one is more prismatic and more interested in making sure that the rest of her siblings or clones, or interdimensional clones I should say, basically want to keep everybody in check. She does have a very close relationship with the Serpent's Hand, again, due to the fact that she technically is the boss of the Serpent's Hand. However, she does not really consider herself the leader of the Serpent's Hand. However, she is one of the few entities that often usually keep herself in check. Most of the time, she is considered the guardian of the Wanderer's Library. However, she has rejected this staple multiple times due to the fact that she doesn't wish to lead, she just wishes to find information. Yeah, she's one of the few entities in the Foundation universe that does not care for winning or losing. Just wants to, well, know everything that she can. She's information hungry, but at the same time, searching for her father's approval. She has had contact with the Clockwork Orthodox Church, or also known as the Church of the Broken God, a member of an interdimensional group of the Black Queens converted into the religion of the Clockwork Orthodox Church with the help of Admit Varkrem. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, don't quote me on that because that's how it's spelled. And I don't know how to fucking say most of the words. I have dyslexia as is. However, an interdimensional group known as the Black Priestesses of Wan was apparently made out of Black Queens worshipping Wan that basically in one timeline eradicated what were known as fairies. More or less, they were creatures that looked and acted just like fairies, which they were produced into 6800, which I'm just going to say is a kind of messed up story and also entry for the SCP Foundation. 6800, for those that don't know, is basically organic metal. The fairies were more or less killed and then turned into living metal. It's a non-anomalous counterpart to a lot of entities and can be used in different ways. Most of the Foundation use it to more or less keep things contained or destroy certain entities. The Black Queen considers the Black Queen's groupings such as Scarcism and the Fifth Church are considered to be highly dangerous and often are clashing with her and her copies, I would say, to the point where some things have been said that she has eradicated entire universes of the faith of those certain individuals due to the fact of their deplorable actions of cannibalism and also debauchery on, well, Eldar levels of debauchery. She does have a good rapport with Marshall, Carter, and Dark for some reason. Most people actually don't know this, but there are versions of Dark and Marshall and Carter that are actually Black Queens. They exist, but don't really care for the other versions of themselves, since they are more or less to the almighty dollar. The Hanging King, on the other hand, when it comes to the Black Queens, they're not very fond, but they often keep their distance. Some variants are also part of the Hanging King's triads, but they don't really see many things when it comes to it. Now, when it comes to Anderson Robotics, the Black Queens have had their fun versions of them, including a actual Black Queen who is subconsciously a robot. She was altered and transformed into it, and Anderson in that universe actually tried to use it in order to basically breach into the Wonders Library. It was immediately cut down, and Anderson of that universe was eradicated, which the Foundation of that universe thanked her for, but often was considered certain things to be very interesting. There were 2 versions of the Black Queen that were actually part of the 3 Moon Initiative and also the Gamers Against Weed, but the thing is, they're pretty much set in the universes of their respected universes, so they don't really often mesh. When it comes to the Black Queen, there are interesting things that are, well, interesting. For instance, she actually was part of the Interdimensional Council of Reeds from the Marvel Comics. You actually could see a variant of her in the comic book. It's weird to say this, but her design, the way that she looks and everything else, yeah, it's pretty much the Black Queen. I couldn't find a picture for the life of me of it, but apparently, yes, this is a thing, and I was kind of mind blown since I'm a big Marvel fan and I know what they're talking about, but I just didn't realize it at the time. There are other things too, like there are certain variants of her that just should not exist or don't exist. It's odd. The best thing I could say with when it comes to her, she's an interesting character. Her entire dynamic is she was cursed, banished, and then thrown into what is known as the Wanderer's Library, reading the books so much that she actually attained all of the knowledge of the Wanderer's Library, to the point where she's often considered a sub-god, not as powerful as most of the gods in the Foundation universe, but considerably one of the best when it comes to it. Oftentimes I am trying to figure out certain things when it comes to this type of stuff, but when it comes to her, she's often considered one of the best when it comes to, well, aspects, since, well, there are previous Black Queens that were part of the GOA or even part of the UIU. Allison Cho is probably one of the only people that, well, it doesn't really mesh. She's one of the few entities that, when you think about it, it's just a little girl trying to make sure that her father is safe and happy. But with that being said, I should probably tell you guys that this is pretty much it. Yeah, when it comes to her, she's pretty much straightforward when it comes to it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little deep dive or splash into the Black Queen. And as always, if you can, a like and a subscribe would be appreciated. Also, leave in the comments what you think I should do next as a little deep dive. And as always, remember,